are live on the YouTube.
All right. Keep on rolling.
Watch your words. Choose them wisely.
Use my words wisely.
We know you've never done that before.
Use them wisely.
I know, I was going to say, we know you've never done that before, but let's pretend like you're not Drake for 5 minutes.
Why?
Because it's good to pretend sometimes.
Alright, fine.
Alright, let me just do my usual bullshit real quick. And then we'll be good to go. Did you see I put playlist on the YouTube page now?
I did not see that.
Yeah, we have playlists now. If you're listening to the podcast, we got all the episodes right now of the Phenomenal Podcast that are on YouTube. They're all on a playlist, and then the 2 episodes of the Gooncast, they're also on a playlist. Go check them out. See, that's how you transition a regular conversation into a plug.
That's true. That's true.
Right there. I'm getting good at this. I can't wait to see how good I'm going to be in like 10 years. I'm going to be the shit.
Oh, yeah.
Give me 10 years, I'm going to be the shit, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Shit.
The shit.
The shit. Hopefully I'll be there too.
Oh yeah, no, that's the plan. You're going to be the shit right next to me.
So it's like 2 shits and 1 shit set.
When people take dumps, who just takes 1 turd? You know what I mean? It always comes out in multiple.
Unless it's 1 big giant fucking turd, but you know, it depends on what you eat.
Who wants one of those? Nobody likes a giant turd.
No.
They like the buddy system when it comes to turd. This is far from wrestling conversation. I'm glad we saved this for the pre-show. So how was your trip, bud? I'll have you on here. It's the reason why we're doing this a couple days late.
Pretty damn good. Got to hang out with the girlfriend's family. It was pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. Good stuff.
Had some dinner. Played some games. Good stuff.
Good stuff. That's good to hear. Everybody needs a good weekend like that. Get the fuck away from a hellhole of a town called Pittsburgh. Even though I love my city, it is a hellhole sometimes.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel that same way exactly.
I 100% blame Amazon, but it's okay. They can take their loss.
Yeah, I blame them too. I was gonna say undisclosed workforce, but it's already out in the open now. So
I don't give a fuck. We talked about Amazon in the past, so
I don't know if we actually used the word though. I just said I just referred to it as work.
No, I'm pretty sure we called it an Amazon once. I'm pretty sure. I want
real names on here.
You know what? If they come on and listen to this, 1, I'll be shocked if they found it. 2, thanks for listening. 3, I don't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's very.
It's somebody that shitty to be like, oh, he's unhireable. Listen to this, you know.
Well, they might get mad about the episode I said I was gonna go and shoot somebody, but that's about it. I'll be shocked if they find that part. That's buried in there. If you can find the episode and the moment that I said I was gonna shoot Alberto Del Brio, I'll be impressed because I don't even remember what episode it was.
Yeah, isn't that shit only on SoundCloud? I don't.
Yeah, that is one of the SoundCloud episodes. Now that I think about it.
Is that the only way you can find those? Pull up those old ones? Is going on SoundCloud?
They're not all of them are right now. They're all technically there. They're just hidden. So I gotta slowly over time, probably during the holidays or after the holidays, I gotta start slowly putting them back onto the YouTube page. So So a lot of our early stuff you can't hear right now, which kind of sucks.
Unless they have a SoundCloud account.
No, ours are hidden. They can only see 3 episodes, and it's the last 3 that we did. So it'd be like it would be 13, 14, and 15 they can find right now.
Oh, because we haven't been keeping up with the payments, right?
Exactly. That's the story of my life, buddy.
It's fine. So I thought just we couldn't play it, but somebody else could find it. I don't know.
No, because I
understand.
Yeah, because if I log in, I can see them all. All of them are still there. I can still see them. I just can't play them either. Well, I think I can play them, but I don't think anybody else can. It's some bullshit. But that's why slowly over time I'm going to start working on the YouTube page.
A fantastic idea, sir.
It would be. It would be nice, even if it's just like not for like right now, but like for in the future, somebody can come back and like, man, these guys are big. I wonder where they came from. Holy shit, they sound bad.
Okay, so I have a question. How do I go back to the main page without exiting this page?
That's a good question. I don't really use mobile that often. You should be able. I mean, are you trying to get the main page of Discord or just back to your home screen? You should be able to just press the home button.
Oh, I just hit the back arrow. How the fuck do I find? I don't know how to like talk to people. Here, I guess there's. I could go to this group conversation, I guess, and say, "Is anyone there?" Or, I don't know how that. I don't know. Well, I guess they wouldn't be if they're not online.
Well, they'll still get the alerts for the message. I'll throw some in there.
Oh, they'll still get a notification.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool if they join, but at the same time, I feel like this week would be a good week to get back to just the you and me episode, because we haven't had one in a while. Because we did the one with Jesse, then we did the one with JP, and then I'm pretty sure we might have had one in between that. Now I think about it, maybe.
I don't remember.
No,
I don't think we did actually.
That's what I'm saying. So it might be a good idea to get back to just you and me for this week. But if they want to join, no biggie. They're welcome to join. If anybody else wants to join, I'll do that right now. Discord.
Still gotta get Mari, but I don't know when the fuck we're ever gonna get him. I'm not that worried about it.
Oh, I know what's. Yeah, no, I mean he can get on when he gets on. There's no big huge deal. Like
no rush.
Yeah, there's plenty of episodes to go. But if you want to join the Discord, you want to call in. The Discord link is in the chat. If you join in and just become an asshole and start talking over us, I'm going to mute you and ban you from the channel. So just don't do that. Wait for our cue. But you're more than welcome to join and call in. Alright, do you want me to send you a picture of... Actually, no, never mind. I was going to send you a picture of the topics, but then I'm looking at my handwriting. It's so fucking terrible.
Just give me a quick rundown again. Naomi's injury, Riot Squad versus what's the other fucking name?
Absolution.
Terrible.
Woken, Matt Hardy, Swaggered MMA, Andre Doc, Galloway, and then the AJ Styles rumor. That's it.
Okay, I'll just follow your lead as I usually do.
And then
have topics.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I have a couple of things like if it comes to it, like a little time wise. We could talk a little bit about 205 Live because I got one of the surveys from WWE. So I got one of those and it was about 205 Live. So we could talk about that a little bit.
Wait, what's the survey about?
Like it was just like why do you watch 205 Live? Like you know what we'll talk about.
Nope.
That. Yeah, we'll talk about
I actually got one. I actually have one. Did you hear that the Sings might be written off television and might be like?
I did hear about that.
Well, let's use that too. I'd rather talk about that than Jack Swagger, to be honest.
Well, then
Jack Swagger's relevant.
We'll save that towards the end then. Give me 1 second. Somebody just knocked at my door.
Also, did you hear that Batista might be coming back?
I will. Give me 1 second. Somebody just knocked at my door.
Uh-oh, it's the police. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. My next door neighbor dropped some food off to me.
That's cool. Yeah, did you hear about Batista might return too? You want to maybe talk about that as well?
Let's see if I can find the story. I do remember hearing about that. Because he said he had some, like, weird reason for why, like, something would have to happen for him to come back. I don't remember exactly what it was, though.
He said he actually would want to come back as full-time and not part-time, which I actually don't know.
I can appreciate. No, I can appreciate that.
I do appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not sure if I want to see Batista again, full time again, just for be a big massive flop again.
You know what? Let's save this. Let's start the show with that because I could argue this one a little bit. I like this. I like that. We'll definitely talk Batista.
Okay.
All right. Let me see.
When is it starting?
Soon. Very soon. I'm honestly.
I would like to see him do a few one-off matches though, but that's about it.
Yeah, we'll we'll start the show with that, honestly. That's a good place to start.
Alrighty.
Let me just finish sending out this link, and then we are good to go.
And don't forget to sound the Zelda too. Ah!
I should just hang up. Just disconnect the call for that.
I don't even really like Zelda. Well, actually, I don't know if I do. I just haven't played a whole lot.
I honestly, I'm gonna anger my gaming fans out there. If you watch the Gooncast, you might have heard me say this before. I've never played a Zelda game in my life.
I've only ever played the first one when I was like 3, and then I fucking switched to Sega Genesis and haven't known any Nintendo system since, not counting Game Boy Advance.
Well, I never owned a Nintendo. Well, no, I owned a Game Boy Color. That was it. I was growing up. I grew up on PlayStation.
Me too, dude. I grew up on Sega and Sony, the 2 S's. So. and not to be confused with SS. We're not Nazis. Okay, now it's getting dark.
I was gonna say, what the fuck?
I just like to go to that dark place for our fans out there. all 3 of them.
Yeah, really. Our 6 fans are gonna be so appalled.
Hey man, controversy creates ratings. Don't forget it.
No, it's the truth. And ratings is something that we definitely, but we're working on it. We're working on. You know what? The thing is though, we've got the consistency down. That's the big part. A lot of people aren't used to going consistent. We got that down. So all we gotta do is build. We're in a good spot.
I agree. Well, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go whenever you are, pal.
Alright. I was gonna add a picture to the link and I'm ready.
Ready.
And I caught Smack Bongo one time, because he's back.
There you go.
The Bong's back in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Bong is back!
If you're following the saga of the shitty neighbors, the Bong's back.
How hilarious would that be if one of the people listening was like one of your neighbors upstairs that were complaining about the weed smoke, and they're like, "What the hell?" And they come down and like, "Is this live?"
I'd be legitimately shocked, and I legit would set up. Oh fuck! The intro's playing. That's
fuck it.
No, that's fine. I switched it over fast enough. Luckily, it's quiet enough in the background where it didn't play too loud, but I definitely didn't know it. Because you can't hear the music, but I can hear it in my headphones, so I'm like, damn it. Alright, let me just make sure the link sent out.
Holy fuck.
There it is, episode 29. Bro, we're close to 30 already.
Don't remind me. I literally am close to 30.
But how crazy is that, though? Like 30 fucking episodes, almost.
It's quite ironic saying that I'm 29 now and I'll be 30 next year.
Well, this is the Drake Duncan episode.
Right? I like telling everyone, but I appreciate telling everybody out there on the website that I'm 27.
Yeah, no, I was definitely off on that one. I should fix that at some point.
Fuck it, let them think I'm only 5 years old.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I haven't touched that website in like a month. Maybe 2.
Let it go. Let them think I'm 5 years older for the people that do go on there, if they do exist. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna worry that much. All right, well, I'm just about ready to go. You can't hear the music, so we're ready. You know the what to do, right?
No, I have no idea what to do. Yes.
Okay, all right. Just making sure, motherfucker.
Motherfucker! I wait for you to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and then we go from there.
Our usual shit. I don't know why, but I just looked at it. For some reason, our intro is classified as blues music.
What?
That's what
like hip hop, isn't it?
That's pretty. Yeah, no, it's definitely more hip hop than blues. But for some reason, it is classified as blues. All right, well, we're gonna go radio silent for a couple of seconds, and we will be back with episode 29.
Already.
Remember, we can still hear you though.
What?
Yeah, we can still hear you. Yeah.
Me?
Yes, because I can't cut.
Me. I thought it's muted.
No, now I can't. I can mute you. I just remembered that. Thanks for reminding me. Drake is now muted. We will see you in a minute.
Hello, all you listeners out there. This is the Phenomenal Podcast with your hosts, Tony Musolino and Drake Duncan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the 29th episode of the Phenomenal Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Musolino. I fucked my name all kinds up right there. Anthony Musolino.
Anthony!
I am here over the phone this week with a man that is just the sleaziest man on the planet. Not Joey Ryan, not Ron Jeremy, but Drake fucking Duncan. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, Sleazy Wags is in the house and I'm feeling nice and sleazy.
Did you just call yourself Sleazy Wags?
Yes, I told you that was my nickname like 2 weeks ago.
You did tell me that, and I totally forgot. But Sleazy Wags, how was your weekend? You went on a little trip this weekend with the girlfriend, seeing the family. Sounds like
it was good times.
Sounds like good times, but the good times are over because we are here back again to talk about the business we love. And there was some good rumors this week. A lot of good rumors this week. We're going to get into that in a little bit here. But to start it off first, the first rumor of the week, Dave Bautista, really not even a rumor, came out in an interview this week and said that he is actually willing to come back on not only a return, but a full-time return to WWE. How do you feel about that, Drake?
Mixed feelings, mostly negative, because I feel like even though I would like to see him in a couple matches, I've always wanted to see him versus Lesnar. I don't think we've ever got to see that. And what's that?
I don't think we have.
No. It was talked about like years ago, like it was like teased, like it being a thing. But then, and then actually, I think it was right. It was back during like the first initial draft, like back in like 2002 or whatever. There was teased that they would cross paths, but then Brock went to SmackDown and Batista stayed on Raw. It was a long time ago.
And that would have been a different situation too, because they would have been both rookies at that point.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I would like to see that match. You know, it might be kind of sloppy now. I don't know, but I would still like to see it.
Now, what's your biggest gripe? We'll get back to that match in a second, because that would be a great match. What's your biggest gripe with Batista coming back full time?
Well, because I feel like it was such a disaster in 2014. I was actually one of the many that was excited with him coming back in the initial stages. But then I feel like it got all fucked up at the Royal Rumble, because we all know that was supposed to be Daniel Bryan's time, and they fucked it up with Batista. Hell, I even would have been okay with Reigns winning it that year, because it would have made sense because he was hot in the Shield.
A lot of people forget that we were all cheering when it was the final two was Reigns and Batista. We were all begging Reigns won that year. Isn't it crazy to think about?
It is.
We were begging that night.
They should have went with Reigns or Bryan that year, not fucking Batista. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Well, it ended up working out well. It ended up working out at least at WrestleMania.
It would work out too. And then you got to think too, after WrestleMania and all that, once Batista turned heel, the stuff he did with Evolution was pretty great.
It was. I did like that. I would say. I was going to say, not all, like, I didn't, like, completely dislike his comeback because the matches with Evolution were worth it for me. However, I had no interest at all whatsoever in seeing Randy Orton versus Batista one-on-one. I just had no interest.
Oh, nobody did. Only Vince McMahon did.
That's what I'm saying. That was my biggest complaint. I just don't feel like well, I mean, I don't know. I guess to a degree he deserved to be in the main event, but it's like he just came back. But I guess they were trying to get the crowd excited. That's why I have mixed feelings. I didn't say it was like completely ridiculous. I just felt like it's like, well, damn, Bryan was so hot, and even Reigns was fucking hot. Like people actually liked Reigns then, looking back, if you can actually remember.
Well, if you think about it, that was the year too when you talked about the Rumble where we all wanted him to win. That was also the year he broke the record.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that kind of pissed me off because I always wanted Kane to hold the record, but whatever. I think Reigns won by like 1 or 2 more.
I think it was 1 more. I think he had 16 where Kane had 15. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I thought it was 14 versus 13, but I'm not. I don't know.
I'll find it real quick. Keep talking.
I just know that record stood for over a decade. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
That's what pissed me off. It's like, why you got to break a record that's like over a decade? Like, come on, dude. Like, Kane doesn't give enough recognition as it is, and it's like, wouldn't it be nice to go down? That's the one thing that's always bothered me. I guess I am somewhat old school with some things, because like I wish that Taker never lost the streak, and I wish that Kane's
Roman had 18. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's all time. I'm sorry, these are all like total eliminations.
Total. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I should have known that my stat was wrong when it was on WWE Network or WWE.com. I should have known that was going to be wrong. But give me a second.
Why would it be wrong if it's on the official website?
Well, yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to be right, though.
Oh, I don't. Well, how do you fucking know if it's right or wrong?
He threw 12. Kane had 11.
I knew it. It was something like that.
You were close.
13. I thought it was 13 versus 14. It was 11 versus 12.
Well,
okay. And I knew they were one off.
And once I said 15-16 too, I was like, that definitely sounds like the whole fucking field. Like, that's half the match. There's no way they eliminated half the match.
I don't know. But anyways, like, Batista coming back, it had its ups and had its downs. You know, I'd be okay with it. But he said he wanted to be full-time, which I actually respect more. Because, you know, like,
that a lot.
Because, you know, like, that's my thing. Like, I'm always going to have mixed feelings with full-time versus part-time because, and this is why I'm on the fence about, like, with him and even with Lesnar. Because even though, like, I would respect somebody more if they were in their full-time, the one downside of for them being in their full-time is, like, I feel like they would, like, steal a lot of other people's momentum and bury them, even if that's not their intention. That's just how they'd be booked.
Yeah, no, that has nothing to do with the wrestler at all. You can't blame booking on the wrestler at all. But
well, absolutely.
I can see where you're coming from, though. I can definitely see your point in this.
Yeah. Here's like I would like to see. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing people come back from the past. I mean, like, especially if they still got it. But when they start to bury the young talent, and then like they're more overshown than them, that's bullshit. They need to share the spotlight equally. That's just like the gripe that I've always had about people coming from the past coming back, you know?
No, I 100% agree. But here, let me give you my little counter argument on this. Because if Batista would come back right now in the current landscape of WWE, let's say post-Mania. Like, okay. So Reigns would be champion at that point, because we all know that's going to happen in Mania, barring a miracle. And then there's a chance that, see, it's tough to say on the SmackDown side. I have a feeling that if Batista comes back, there's no way in hell he's going to SmackDown. He's staying on Raw.
I think he should be on Raw. I think he would be better off on Raw. He always was better on Raw anyways.
Totally agree. Well, I disagree with that, because he was running SmackDown for the longest. When in 06, 05, 06, he was in control of SmackDown.
I know, but that's right when I started to like lose like interest in him. I always liked him when he was like red hot on Raw, and then he went over to SmackDown, had his matches with Guerrero. That was cool. But like, when he was with Evolution, right when he split from Evolution,
he was hard as hell.
From Evolution, that was like when he was on top, and that's when I liked him the most.
No doubt, and I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying he was multi-time world champion. Him and Undertaker were putting on classic matches. He had a great match with Khali. If you think
going back to like 07 and like 06, 07, 08, like him, Taker, and Edge ran SmackDown. Dude.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I'm trying to think of some other people that were there. I mean, I can't even think of anybody. Mr. Kennedy for
Raw and Guerrero before they died. Oh, and Angle before he left.
but before Angle left, he was on Raw and ECW. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like, going back to like SmackDown history, like some of the best like wrestlers and matches were on and happened on SmackDown, but then, you know, of course the landscape always has to change, such as the way of life in the business.
Yeah, and it changed over time, and it definitely devolved SmackDown, but I feel like SmackDown's been on the up and up recently. I feel like Raw's writing recently has been better than SmackDown's.
But what's funny is, like, looking back, I have, like, I don't know, I just have such good memories of SmackDown, because when I think of, like, Kurt Angle and Undertaker and Edge and all these guys, I think about, like, one of the first things that comes to my mind is, like, their tenure and their run on SmackDown.
Definitely.
Like, so that's a testament to, like, how good the show was. And I liked it for a long time now. I liked it more on Raw, but that's probably mostly when whatever Heyman was running it and writing it.
He had a lot to do with it. I went back, I was watching old CCW this weekend with some friends that they're wrestling fans, but they're newer to wrestling fans. To two wrestling fans.
You say ECW?
I said WC. Yeah, ECW. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
And just going back and, like, I mean, the brutality and all that shit was great, and the matches were incredible, but the storylines were so goddamn good. Like Tommy Dreamer getting Beulah pregnant and stealing her from Raven. God damn, that's gold. WWE ain't doing that shit. That's so.
Well, you're cutting out a little bit, at least on my end. You're talking about ECW, yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm talking about old school ECW. Like, the storylines were so goddamn good. And to bring it back to what you were saying, I think that has a lot to do with it. Because I think Heyman's writing, you have to look at him as one of the better promoters in history.
Well, absolutely. Well, and speaking of Dreamer, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dreamer was a writer. Was like one of the head writers on SmackDown back at the time too.
I want to doubt it. Well. Actually, speaking of Dreamer, I don't know if you just saw his independent company, House of Hardcore, recently just started putting their shows on Twitch. So shout out to Tommy Dreamer, House of Hardcore. That's really cool.
Oh wow, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, they got. I think they have 4 episodes of their like hardcore TV. So I'm pretty sure they got a couple episodes up there. I only checked it out for a little bit, but I did see Austin Aries is on there, and he's going to be facing Joey Mercury, which I was like, Jesus Christ, that's a weird match.
Yeah, I didn't even know Joey Mercury was wrestling again. Is he no longer working for WWE anymore?
I don't know. I really don't. I thought he was. I thought we saw him on TV like 4 weeks ago. Like I definitely remember.
I haven't seen him in a while. If you think about it, and like like when like the road agents like randomly come out, like here comes Finlay and shit, and like Dean Malenko.
That's what I was gonna say. Last time I saw him was when Kevin Owens beat up Vince McMahon. He showed up for a little bit.
Joey Mercury?
Yes, he was that. He was out there for that. Him and Finlay. They were the 2 guys in the ring.
Seeing him. I was gonna say like I remember seeing Jamie Noble, but I don't remember seeing Joey Mercury.
No, he was there too. Because I remember the memes the next day were nothing but J&J Security's back.
I missed J&J Security. That shit was awesome.
They were great. I miss Seth Rollins as a champ. I honestly miss Seth Rollins as a heel with those two. I really do.
Well, that's why I like Rollins so much. It just like worked for him. But like there was mixed feelings about that too, because like he was so good of an athlete, he didn't really have to cheat, but like it just kind of like, but it was entertaining, you know. But what? Did you notice that Devon's like a fucking road agent now too? Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. Devon, he's been doing some backstage stuff. Honestly. I was thinking about this, and I was talking about this with my friends the other day, and I think we might have even discussed it on this show at one point. I truly believe the Dudleys are the greatest tag team of all time. So we were. Was it on the show we had? I know I've had that discussion with everybody I've ever talked to about wrestling. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I think the weekend that Bully Ray or Bubba Ray, whatever you want to call it,
yes.
We talked about that they were the greatest tag team of all time, and I agreed with you 100%.
Yes, we did talk about it. But to get back to my point I was going to make, to have a guy like Devon in there, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised with the way the tag teams have been doing so well recently. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Oh, you think he has some influence on that?
I think so, because I mean, you got to think about it. When it comes to tag teams, who's going to know more than a guy that's been doing it for 20-some years, did it in one of the greatest tag teams of all time? And if you really think, if you go back and watch tag teams, Devon was the worker in the tag team.
Yeah, I mean, I was like Bubba more, but yeah, Devon really did put in the dirty work. Yeah, but he got his hands dirty.
But that's why people love Bubba more, because Bubba was he cut the big promos that pissed everybody off, and he was also the dude that was coming in making the comeback. Devon was the one out there taking the bumps and all that.
That's true. And you remember, I always loved when he would seizure and like shake his leg after he went through a table or something.
Yes, I loved it. He looked like he died every single time.
Right. No, hold on though. I don't think I don't know, like if road agents would have influence. Like I wouldn't that just be like the writers?
Not
like, I don't
the storyline, yes. In the storyline, yes. But in the match itself, 100% they would. Like I think in the storyline it would be like when he was a wrestler. He played out whatever they got to do. But he's the one that helps put together the match. So yes, I think that's a crucial guy.
Road agents help put together matches.
That's what their job is. Yes, they help put together a match for the younger wrestlers.
Okay, be honest with you, I never actually was 100% sure what they did. I thought they were just like there to like oversee, like make sure like everything's, I don't know, in order. I never actually fucking knew what they did, be honest.
Yes, yeah, no, because if you go back in history, like Pat Patterson was he was the one that put together all the Rock and Stone Cold's matches.
Yeah, that's true. And what Michael Hayes was one too at one point, wasn't he?
Pretty sure he still is. I think he still is. I wouldn't doubt if he is at all. I know he's still backstage. I know that for sure.
I don't know. I thought they just like watched over the locker rooms and shit like that. Just made sure everything was going smoothly. Like the production was going good. I don't know. I wasn't actually really sure what their official title was. You know, I thought they just like oversaw the production of the show and like make sure everything was going smoothly, stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, no, that's they have a big hand in the matches. Like I said, Patterson had a lot to do with the Stone Cold Rock matches. Like if you get, like the Asians have like it usually plays a lot with the younger superstars because they're more inexperienced. I'm saying all this from what I've heard. I have no idea, but this is from what I've heard. Because I'm sure there's some asshole out there.
I just never cared to look it up. Or
no, the reason I said it like that because there's definitely some. I'm thinking about there's definitely some asshole out there right now listening to this. Like, how do you know you've never taken a bump? How do you know all this shit? So I just
probably another asshole out there saying like, how do you fucking not know what a road agent is? Well, fucking kiss my ass. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit of both going on. But we went off on a weird tangent because all this went back to Batista.
Yeah.
Somehow this all stems back to Batista, and I think if it came down to the writing of the shows, I think that's how we got started on that tangent. I don't know for sure.
Who the fuck knows, man?
But I remember what my point was with Batista. I feel like there is a lot more options that in match type on Raw than with SmackDown because you could do what you said. You could do the Batista Lesnar match. I personally, when he comes back, I would love to see Batista versus Big Cass. I think that would be very. I think that Batista's always he's always worked well with very big guys. Has had great matches with like Khali and Big Show. So I'd love to. I don't know. I feel like that would be a guy like when Cass comes back. If Batista's in WWE and Cass comes back and he's healthy and they still want to push him to the mountain they want to push him to, that would be a first good guy for him to go after.
I'm not gonna lie. I totally forgot Cass was even out. That's like how bad. That's like how much like I don't care.
No, see, it sucks. It honestly sucks too. That's a mindset because you're not the only person that has that mindset. There are a lot of people like, oh, Big Cass.
I didn't even mean to have that mindset. No, I literally forgot.
Yeah, no, it's just, and when he comes back, it's going to be a big thing because everybody's going to go, oh shit, it's Cass.
Right.
So it's a positive and a negative. But Big Cass is a guy.
I just like so over him and Enzo for so long now, though. You know.
Nah, here's my thing with that. I can understand Enzo, but we haven't seen the most of Cass yet. Cass has got a lot of improving to do.
Like not even a month after he came back as a heel, right?
Yeah, we haven't got to see like a destructive Big Cass where he's just out there fucking people up.
Yeah,
I mean,
he always reminded me. He always reminded me of Test a little bit too, just like his way he was.
Yeah,
especially the way he's built and he's
similar
big long-haired blonde.
They look exactly the same. I'm not gonna lie. I
he
definitely
looks more like Edge in the face. He looks more like Edge in the face.
It definitely looks like Edge and Test like had a baby and Big Cass came out.
I know, right? Exactly.
No, you're absolutely right. I 100% see that now.
But no, that would be an interesting dynamic. How about him versus Braun Strowman? Him versus any big guy really would be interesting.
But then at the same time, him versus a guy like Finn Balor, that would be an incredible match. Right? Him versus Seth Rollins.
Maybe like the landscape for him now to coming back is way better than trying to come back. When he came back a few years ago, yeah, it was okay, but like coming back now was like, look at all the slew of guys we got in the since he last was in WWE, Batista. Look how many people who have come through the door since his exit. We have Finn Balor, we have Kevin Owens.
Could you imagine?
Help me out here, AJ Styles.
Batista
all those people weren't there when he left.
Could you imagine Batista versus Samoa Joe?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. So actually,
it'd be a fucking war.
Like that. So actually, the more I think about it now, just realizing how much talent is now on the main roster since he's made his exit, it's actually, I'm almost salivating at the fucking thought. Maybe he should come back.
It's honestly crazy to think about because I can't even name you the roster from 2012. I can't even think of like
2014
or 2014. Like I can name you like the big stars. There's a lot of people I can't name.
Well, there was the Shield, and then there was him. There was Orton. There was Cena, Ryback. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, get him the fuck out of here.
Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Jericho, Kane.
That's right. He was still doing it.
I know the New Age Outlaws were back at that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's when he knew you were scrambling at that. Like, because if you think about it, now I think about it. Now I'm really thinking back to it. That's when all of the guys who are like the top stars now. That's when they started to first come onto the scene was 2014. That's really when they start to push the younger guys. So it has been a big change in regard since Batista's left. I think this will be a good time to come back. And I think the bigger part, I think WWE is going to learn from the mistake of instantly pushing him into the main event scene. I think that was the biggest issue with his return.
Well, here's what you can do now. And also think about this, and this is probably true and going to happen. You know how last year, well, ever since the brand split 2016, each pay-per-view, they kind of trade off, like, what pay-per-view is exclusive to what brand, right?
Yeah.
Well, like, last year, Elimination Chamber was exclusive to SmackDown, right? Now, that was the last SmackDown pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania. Well, since last year Elimination Chamber was SmackDown, perhaps this year will be Raw.
No, I've heard a very interesting thing actually about Elimination Chamber. I don't know if it's going to be like that, but have you heard the rumor that they're thinking about doing a female Elimination Chamber this year?
No, I have not. That's pretty incredible.
That would be an interesting dynamic. What 6 women would you put in that match?
Well, I would. Well, for one, wait, is it going to be? What show is it going to be exclusive to, though?
We'll say it's Raw. Just since it was SmackDown last year, let's just say Raw this year.
Then I would probably have the Absolution in there. You know, Paige and you
would have the whole team, the whole team in there.
Well, I guess at least just Paige because there would be a lot of double teaming, triple teaming, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. I feel like it would be interesting. Honestly, I want to totally shoot the idea down.
What the hell are the other two's names again?
That's
Mandy Rose and Sarah something.
No, Sonya something. I always forget her name.
Sonya Deville, right?
Sonya Deville. That's it.
Okay, yeah. But anyways, maybe them. But hold on, though. I was going to say, because usually whatever pay-per-view had it last year or whatever, that it would be different now. Because, like for example, last year TLC was exclusive to SmackDown. This year it was exclusive to Raw. You know, when Kurt Angle made his comeback, right? Well, say if it's exclusive to Raw this year, that would be a perfect time for Batista to come back. Yeah. And also, it would also mean, and I'm hoping to God this is true, especially since, think about this. I know that I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but at the same time I'm not, because only a month away is Royal Rumble. And you know what's going to be, right? Philadelphia. What happened last time they pissed Philadelphia off at the Royal Rumble? That's when Reigns came out and won, right?
Yeah, that was the second year.
The entire crowd. There was practically a riot. There was fucking cars. I read there was a user on YouTube that said that there was people out there like blocking the fucking entrance and exits. So because they were trying to like start an actual legitimate riot. And I don't put that past Philadelphia, so I believe it.
Yeah, if any city's gonna do it, it's definitely Philly.
If they had any fucking brains, they would actually let a fan favorite win the Royal Rumble this year. I'm making a bold prediction. AJ Styles is a champion right now, right? I'm making a bold prediction. I'm going to say that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win the Royal Rumble this year, and then whoever fucking wins the match at fucking Elimination Chamber is going to be Lesnar's opponent, which will probably be fucking Roman Reigns or whatever. But anyways, I'm just saying you could do something like put Batista in there, put Reigns in there. I don't fucking know, but I just think that Royal Rumble, the winner needs to be a SmackDown guy or a fan favorite. That's all.
Well, I want to talk Rumble for a second because that's an interesting point. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's a long shot for Shinsuke Nakamura to win the Rumble. I don't either. Honestly, he's probably one of the odd-on favorites.
Yeah, exactly. And haven't they pissed us off enough with the past slew of Royal Rumble winners? I mean, come on. It's been disappointment after disappointment, in my opinion.
Well, last year was Orton, right?
Yeah, and the year before that, Triple H. Year before that,
See,
Reigns.
Here's my thing.
Year before that, Batista. Year before that, Cena. Year before that, Sheamus. Year before that, Del Rio. The last good winner was Edge in 2010, and that's just my personal opinion.
I'm going to argue Randy Orton because storyline-wise, it worked.
Yeah, but then
we've talked about this before.
Wyatt should have lost the way he did at Mania, though. It was fucking pathetic.
I know. We talked about it before. I know.
I would have rather have had Wyatt win the Rumble and Orton win Elimination Chamber, and then Wyatt retain at Mania. If they knew it was good for them, they would have done it that way. But they're idiots. So
yeah, no, they're definitely idiots.
I don't know. But anyways, what I'm saying is, if you want to bring Batista, what's that? Sorry.
No, I was just going to piggyback on the idea of having. If you know Reigns, you're right. If you know Reigns is going to go to WrestleMania anyway, why waste the Royal Rumble?
Exactly. And do you really think they'd have the balls? Actually, I wouldn't put it past it because it's obviously going to be McMahon at the end of the day.
I wouldn't
either because you know it's going to be McMahon. But here's the thing, though. Let's rewind 3 years ago. Royal Rumble 2015, Philadelphia. That was the one in Philadelphia. Reigns won then, and people were pissed. They can't do it again. They can't. They have to. It has to be a SmackDown winner, and I'm predicting it because.
No, wait a minute. Actually, someone just popped into my head here.
Yeah.
What if Reigns wins, but in the process of winning, he turns heel?
Don't you think they would have done it a while ago if they were going to do it?
No, because here's the thing. It's going to happen sooner or later. Everybody wanted it to happen now. Reigns probably got another good 10 years left in him.
That's true.
At most, probably. Because I don't see Reigns going. I see Reigns going Hollywood. Very.
How
quickly.
old is he? He's 3 years older than me, so he's 32. So
all right, we'll give him 8 solid years left.
No, I think 10 years is bold. Go ahead. I mean, the fucking Flair wrestled till like yesterday, right? So,
but there's a difference. There's a big difference between Reigns and Flair actually cared about this business.
Right. I don't know. Reigns. I think Reigns cares about the business.
No, I see him pulling a rock and going Hollywood real quick. So
well, I don't know. He's sticking. Well, I know he's making a lot of money right now, but I feel like he has to fucking care. He has to care at least a little bit because, I mean, he does put on damn good matches, and I don't know. He can back it up. The only thing he can't back up is fucking cutting a good promo, but he's still working on it.
Yeah, no, I know he's had
5 years. I know he's had 5 years, like Cena said, but I'll be damned if I haven't seen a good Roman Reigns match, like, at least in the past few years. He's extremely good in the ring. I think he deserves to be in the main event, just not to the level that WWE perceives him to be. That's all. You know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I 100% agree. But in the same
time, he is very good. Is he very good? Absolutely. Does he deserve to be in the main event picture? Absolutely. Is he the best? Absolutely not. That's all I'm saying. You know,
I could even argue if he deserves to be in the main event picture.
Well,
because I think honestly, I think
so.
So I'll be honest with you, I don't like him as Intercontinental Champion, but at the same time, that might be right where he needs to be.
Yeah. Well, if they just would have did everything correctly. I don't know. They just fucked it all up. But here's the thing: with stop. WWE is notorious for start-stop pushes. It hurts more than it helps, obviously. Which is, it's not their intention to do that. It's just that, like, they keep fucking changing their goddamn mind. You can't do these stop-start pushes. Look at even Rollins and especially Ambrose.
Ambrose, yes.
Jesus Christ. Here's the thing. Even Meltzer had mentioned this and dabbled into this conversation. If you do too many start-stop pushes, it starts to hurt the perspective of like the superstar's image. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
It hurts the perception of the superstar's image because it's like, well, they were on top of the world and now they got knocked down a couple pegs. It's all about getting knocked down a couple pegs and then picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and then getting back to that point.
Well, I don't know if you heard Sasha Banks even came out and said like it affected her mentally.
Exactly, and it does. It's not even just, and also it infects the superstar's mentality, even though it's all like scripted and AKA quote unquote fake at the end of the day. It's still going to hurt their confidence, and it's going to hurt the perception. So it sucks. These start-stop pushes are so bad because it's like you get knocked down a couple pegs and you have to come back up. You know, but it's the only thing you can do is just suck it up, grin and bear it, and hope for the best. You know. But so that's what they did. They fucked up Reigns so bad, man. It's you know, with them like changing their minds back and forth. You know, they should have just had the balls. Here's the thing: we already know they had their mind made up that he was going to beat Lesnar 3 years ago. Then last minute they said, "Fuck it, the San Francisco crowd's too hostile. We're going to have Rollins cash in and take the title." They should have just had the balls to commit to the decision. Here's the thing: if you're going to have the balls and be bold enough to make a bold decision, even in the midst of controversy, have the balls to commit to it and stick through with it instead of pulling out last minute. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I don't disagree with the words you're saying right now. But at the same time, it may be, I can't really tell you another place where it would have made sense for Seth Rollins to cash in.
That's true.
It seems to me like to me the only spot like for that character. You know what I mean? Seth Rollins seems like the type of sleazy motherfucker that would come in and steal WrestleMania moments.
Yeah. So, well, here's the thing. Even though I feel like they should have just committed to the decision, I'm glad that it went down the way that it did.
No,
because
I'm sure it's
because he can say that he's the first guy to cash in at WrestleMania, and it was so perfect for his character. You know what I mean?
See, I have a strange feeling of thinking that I don't think that was something they did on a whim. You know,
really? Because I thought that it was.
That might have been a report. I just have a strange feeling that was something that they knew was going to happen.
It's quite possible. Well, I guess my thing about it is, like, I feel like if they just would have gave the title to Reigns, if they just would have let him beat Lesnar at Mania 3 years ago, we wouldn't have to suffer through it 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? But
true. You're 100% right.
It's like,
yeah,
3 years later, like, shouldn't they have done this shit like 3 years ago? Like, I'm sorry, I thought it was 2000. And there's gonna be a bunch of people in the audience with like deja vu, like, bro, I'm could have sworn it's 2018, but according to this match watching right now, it's apparently 2015.
Yeah, the people are going to be sitting in their seats, like, green shirt guy's going to be sitting in his seats. He's going to look up, he's like, shit, when do we get inside?
Right? But anyways, going back to your point, I didn't mean to get so far off, but if you do believe that if Reigns were to win at Mania, and the Rumble in Philadelphia, and he turned heel, what manner of action would he have to take to get the audience over, to convince the audience to say, oh, Reigns just turned heel? What would he have to do to solidify and tell the audience, I am now heel? Like, what would he have to do?
It's a multi-step process. He's going to have a match earlier in the night. Remember how the year before he had a match earlier in the night, and then he got back into the match the next night, like later in the night?
It was enough for me to rip up my Roman Reigns shirt and my fucking Roman Reigns fist. I'm like, I'm no longer a fan. Fuck you.
All right, that's step one. We're going to do that again. Step two, he's got to eliminate both members of the Shield in the match. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say at separate times. Like, say he eliminates Seth before Dean's even in the match.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Dean comes out and he's like, what are you doing, Roman? And then Roman fucks up Dean and eliminates him, like, instantly. So then you got that. Then you get down to the final two. Let's say it's... You know what? Let's say it's him and Shinsuke. Him and Shinsuke are the final two.
Oh, and man.
Shinsuke is getting the better of him, and then all of a sudden, Triple H eliminates Shinsuke Nakamura. Not Roman Reigns.
What?
Triple H eliminates him.
Wait, he's in a match, or he just fucking comes in and
shows up out of nowhere and just eliminates Shinsuke?
Oh yeah, well, perfect. That's genius, because anybody who aligns himself with the game, it's sure to get over that they just turned and sold out.
It would work so much, because then what you could do after that, you do pretty much what you did with Seth Rollins, except you do it 100 times better with Roman Reigns, because Roman will look 100 times better in that suit coming out and saying to the fans, I'm so much better than all of you.
Right? Isn't it bad that we've all been saying, I don't know if it was you saying it, but I've been saying with my buddies for the past 3 years, at least 2.5 years, that he needs to be in the Authority. He would look so much better in a suit.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And also, that's how you know that the image of Triple H holding up Roman Reigns' hand would be it'd be solidification, absolutely.
But here's the thing, that's only part 3 of 4, and you touched on part 4. What this encompasses is the total relaunch of the Authority. You bring back Stephanie, you bring back Triple H, you make him as annoying as fuck again, because there weren't bigger heels in wrestling at that point than the Authority. Everybody fucking hated them.
Oh, I still hate the Authority, dude.
Exactly.
When Triple H and Stephanie came out and like buried Kurt the week before Survivor Series, I'm like, Jesus, poor Kurt. I guess it's like cringeworthy almost.
But tell me that wouldn't be the perfect heel turn.
Absolutely. I mean, that's I kind of thought of it better myself, because like nothing says, hey, I've sold out and I'm a heel now, more than aligning themselves with the game. Now, at that point, do you think he'd want a mouthpiece, a.k.a. manager? Because I think that for someone like he would definitely benefit from a manager. It's a shame that he can't have Heyman, because Heyman's already aligned with Lesnar. The last time they tried to share Heyman, when they gave him to Cesaro and Curtis Axel and Ryback, it didn't work out very well. So who would be the ideal fit for Roman Reigns' manager if he were to turn heel, which I hope happens and I think should happen?
I already said it. Triple H or Stephanie McMahon. One of those two. Just just have it. Remember how like in the Authority they'd come out and like everybody would just be standing behind him, and Triple H would be like, "We run wrestling."
This is true, but whenever Rollins would come out and have a match, it's not like they were exactly there ringside. If anything, J&J security was there. I feel like he needs to have a manager there like all times.
That's where you change it. I think Triple H becomes the manager. I think he transitions from that wrestling role into like kind of how like. Remember how Ric Flair was with Triple H back in like the early 2000s?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's that same type of role where he's like he still wrestles a little bit, but he's just in his corner all the time.
That's honestly perfect. I agree with that completely. Hell yeah, they should do that.
Because I'm just thinking about it. Like it's cool seeing like Kevin Owens when Triple H helped that. That was cool. I just don't think it would have the same impact as if Roman went with the authority.
Absolutely not. Because here's case in point: people like Rollins, people like Owens, people don't like Reigns, so it would be perfect.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I honestly, I can't think of like a better way to turn them. And I know I've said that 100 times, at least on this show alone. I know I've booked different heel turns for him in the past and said that's the best heel turn ever, and then it didn't happen. And let me guarantee you something right here and right now: there's no way in hell this is happening. As much as I hate to admit it, I'm not on the writing staff. They're not going to listen to this show.
On the fly, we fucking created this elaborate scheme. Like that just goes to show you like how much we've been thinking about this as fans and like how much it should have happened. But on the fly, we just create this elaborate scheme that's like this would be perfect. They need to do this right then and there, and it's you know what I mean. Like it's just like a testament to like. That like some fans are better than the actual WWE writers and like kind of know what's better for the superstars than the actual paid WWE writers.
Yeah, you say that though, but I want to go on a tangent here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little rant I got to go on. You brought up just the person I want to rant about. Not even the person, the people.
Okay.
People I want to rant about. And Sally Drake, I hate to say it, but we're part of this group.
Marks? Smart marks.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with wrestling fans right now?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Every time I go on the internet, doesn't matter what it is, like, we're going to get into it in a minute, like, all this, like, Matt Hardy on Twitter this week was putting all this, like, broken, woken Matt Hardy stuff up on the internet. And everybody's pumped about it. Like I said, we're going to get into that in a second.
Okay.
Why is it half the comments are, oh, this is going to suck. WWE's going to fuck this up. This is going to be terrible. Can you just not appreciate what you have? Like, we're finally getting what we complained about, what we wanted to get for almost 6 months now. And we're finally getting it. And all you can do is instantly shit on it. Fuck wrestling fans. Legitimately. I'm getting sick of this shit. Just enjoy the product. I'm so sick of hearing all WWE does is ruin stuff. I'm such a better fan because I watch New Japan and Ring of Honor. I'm so much better than everybody. No, you're fucking not. You're not. You're just not. You're the annoying ones. Like, I get it. There's more to wrestling than WWE. And I love the outside stuff. I'm a fan of Ring of Honor. I'm a fan of New Japan. I'm a fan of AIW. I'm a fan of Beyond Wrestling. I'm a fan of multiple different independent companies. WWE is still the best. That's still the top of the game. And yes, they fuck up a lot in the storyline writing, but why are guys like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Shinsuke Nakamura going to WWE if it's not the top place to go?
Exactly. And they did everything else there was to do in their career, and that was the last goal for them, and that was the last destination for them, and they're going to make the best of it.
Let me ask you something. What company did you start watching when you started becoming a wrestling fan? Was it Ring of Honor? Was it New Japan? No. It was WWE. So
technically WWF, but yes.
Same difference. Same difference. Doesn't matter. Yes. And you know what? You know what? If you say WCW, that also counts as WWE anymore. So you know what? Same fucking tree, motherfucker.
Actually, no. I was so loyal and committed to WWF at the time that I hated WCW.
Well, I have to say WCW because that might be my first memory of wrestling. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. So I have to put that caveat in there. But to get back to
watched ECW too.
No, I didn't know about ECW until I got older, way older.
Actually, I knew of it, but had no idea when it was on.
There was no way in hell my parents would let me watch that at my age. You gotta understand, I was probably like 4 years old.
I didn't know how to find it. I wanted to watch it, but I just like kind of forgot about it too. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. I should watch it sometime. Completely forgot about it. Didn't know when it was on. But WCW, I know when it was on. I purposely didn't want to watch it.
No, I don't blame you. But to get back to my point, how about before we start shitting on something, like when people shit on Jinder Mahal, they had the right to shit on Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
You have zero right to shit on what was the most entertaining wrestling gimmick in the last 20 years. The most original gimmick. And Matt Hardy's still in control of the gimmick. WWE might be running the show, but Matt Hardy's running that gimmick. It's his gimmick.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he's the one that's writing the ship. Let's let it go somewhere. Let's let it get past the first fucking week before we start shitting on it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So I will say that sometimes I'm guilty of negativity. However, usually it's my secondary reaction. When I first heard that Matt Hardy's going to be broken again, I'm like, you even saw my post on Facebook, presumably. I think you did.
Yeah,
you think it's going to be wonderful. I said, yes, this is awesome. I can't wait. But then I said, let's just hope that WWE doesn't screw it up. But even though I had said that was my secondary thought, my secondary reaction, my primary reaction, my primary thought was positivity.
Like, you're allowed to have a little bit of nervousness. Because, yes, WWE has ruined a lot of shit. I will admit it. But so is Ring of Honor. So is New Japan. They've ruined tons of shit. Know what New Japan's ruined? New Japan has ruined multiple wrestlers' necks and bodies because they think they have to kick the shit out of each other to make it look interesting. No, you don't!
Gotta take the good with the bad, bud. You know?
God damn it. Like, I'm so sick of snarky fucking wrestling fans.
I'm gonna say this, though. There's something that J.P. Whitman fucking addressed to a degree. He said that he does feel like, and it's definitely true, at least from what I've seen, that they've toned down Shinsuke Nakamura's in-ring style quite a bit. And he says it's not.
Yeah, because he was fucking people up. He broke Austin Aries' jaw within his first 3 matches in WWE. I think he's going a little overboard.
Wait, broke whose jaw?
Austin Aries, remember?
Oh, yeah, sorry, you cut out my fucking thing.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, but Austin Aries,
I thought he fucked up his eye.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry.
I thought he fucked up his orbital bone.
Wrong part of the face, I'm sorry. But still, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why his style's getting toned down. And I think him dropping Cena on his head has a big part to do with it. Because I don't think I've seen that suplex since.
Right. That was his last, like, truly good match, though, really. I mean, like, really, really good match. Like, classic match.
See, I can't fully say. I was thinking. I can't fully say because I haven't watched a lot of SmackDown recently.
Nakamura wasn't even on SmackDown, bro.
He wasn't on SmackDown last week?
I don't think so. I don't remember seeing him.
But here's my thing with that. Shinsuke doesn't need to be having classic matches every week. Like, if you went back and watched his shit in New Japan, like, yeah, he was having classic matches over there. But that's in between.
What was the time between what was the length between those matches?
That's what I'm saying. There was a lot of shitty 6-mans between those fucking classics. Like, he would have a classic at Wrestle Kingdom, then he'd have a classic at, like New Beginnings, which is, like, a month apart. And then he'd have a classic match in the G1, which is, like, 2 months apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it wasn't like, it was the same amount of time that he was having classic. Like, anywhere you go, if you look anywhere in the independents, no guy is having a 5-star match. Kenny Omega is not having a 5-star match every time he steps in the ring. It's just not happening.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like, it's impossible. You're asking way too much of the wrestler at that point. Like, sooner or later, you're going to have a bad night. And honestly, even if and you got to think too, if Shinsuke was coming onto the main roster and having these great matches like that, like instantly right off the bat, don't you think that would take away from the appeal of Shinsuke? Because you've seen his greatness already. Like, what else are you going to see? That's why I like guys like Brock Lesnar going off and doing part-time.
I was just going to say Lesnar. That Heyman kind of, like, that's how Heyman's getting at when he talks about Lesnar as like a must-see.
Exactly.
Box office attraction.
You know exactly what I'm feeling. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because there are times, like, you want a great example? John Cena. John Cena was having great match, pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view, and then all of a sudden, he just kept having his great matches. People were just like, man, I don't want to see Cena anymore. Yeah. Like, I've seen it all. Like, I've seen it.
It's because he was always, like, he was also on Raw and SmackDown, and he was winning all the time, and he was just shoved down our throats, you know?
Yeah, no, there was a lot to it, but him having great match after great match. But if he would have continued even with all the booking and stuff like that, if he would have just, like, started having bad matches and he dropped down the card a little bit and then he started working his way back up again, people would love him. There would have been no problem.
Well, he kind of started doing that a little bit. But like when he lost to Kevin Owens and all that.
But think about how long it took for that to start happening. And like think about how negative people were up until that point. People hated
one of them
Cena.
Met me at the age of 17 and 18. I wanted to kill Cena.
That's what I'm saying.
I was fully aware that it was just a character, but I'm like, no, I want him dead. I want his head.
Exactly. So you can see where I'm coming from with this. Like, there gets to a point where just you get too much success, and you're just like, I want something new.
I have to go. I have to leave for like 1 minute. Can you talk about something?
Well, we've already gone an hour, so if you want, we can just roll around for the show. This is going by fast.
Oh shit! Okay, I really gotta piss.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's just wrap up the show then. So this is We had a bunch of topics. I'm just going to let the viewers know a little thing. We had a bunch of topics. We only hit one of those topics.
But this was a damn good show.
Yeah, no, this was a lot of ranting. I had a nice little yell at the end of the show. Once again, if you're a wrestling fan, you're a snarky wrestling fan, even if you're one of my friends, shut the fuck up and enjoy the product. Just be happy we have wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So on that note, let me get the music up real quick. I forgot to get the music up.
Okay.
There he is.
I think the other topics weren't all that. We can get to that next week.
Yeah, I mean, the show's on Monday. We can talk about other stuff. Like, all right, I'll ask you something real quick. How do you feel about Jack Swagger going to the MMA?
I could give two shits. I don't care at all.
Do you think he'll do better than Punk?
I don't fucking know. Fuck him. I don't care. My answer is I don't know and I don't care.
The only reason I asked that one because at the beginning of the show, Drake's like, just don't bring that up. Just don't do it. But I'm going to bring it up because this has been the 29th edition of the Phenomenal Podcast. I have been your host, Anthony Musolino. Of course, I've been sitting here on the phone this week. Hopefully next week we'll be side by side once again.
We will.
It was just, I had to let Drake go on vacation this week. I let him out of the cage this week. He'll be back in the cage next week, tied up just the way I like it. But if you enjoyed what you listened to, give us a subscribe on the YouTube, give us a like on the video, head over to facebook.com/phenomenalpodcast, twitter.com/phenompodcast to get your latest updates on when the episodes are going to be coming on, and just some random shit throughout the week. I'm going to start tweeting more off the Phenomenal Podcast Twitter. I'm going to start tweeting some wrestling shit off there. I feel like I don't use it enough.
Do it, sir. Do it.
Yeah, I just feel like it's something that needs to happen. So, Drake just messaged me. He really asked to pee. So, Drake, go ahead and pee. I'll finish.
I'm doing like Shinsuke moves, Shinsuke Nakamura's moves, and it comes out of the entrance
you're on the phone. Just go take a piss, dude. But it's okay because this has been the Phenomenal Podcast, and we will see you all next week.
All right, I'm going.
All right, we'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
The Phenomenal Podcast on the Goonland Productions YouTube page. Check us out for the Gooncast and the Phenomenal Podcast happening weekly. Thanks for listening, and you guys have a good night. Still, Drake? Off.